Good morning students. In today's class, I wanted to tell you the concept of how to display HTML form data onto a web page. Right? For that, we need two things. What are the two things? First of all, we have to create a HTML page. In that, we'll create a form, and whatever the form data is there, we have to display over a servlet. Right? This is the workflow. Now let us practically implement this particular concept. Open your Eclipse, file, create a new dynamic web project, and I'm going to name this particular project as display data project. Right, click on next, click on finish. See here, your project has been created. What is the name of your project? Display data project. Right click on your project. First of all, create a HTML file and name your file as index.html. Click on finish. See here, your HTML file has been created. Now I am going to name my web page as display student data in a web page. Just I am naming my web page, that's it. Right, come to your body section. Inside your body section, what is that you have to do? First of all, create a form tag. Right, inside your form tag, what are the things that you want? First of all, whenever you create a form, there will be multiple attributes for that. Among them, the first important attribute is providing you the action attribute. Second attribute is providing a method attribute. Right, I'll tell you what are the parameters that has to be passed in the later program. Right, first of all, in my HTML page, I wanted to create three fields of a student. First one, what is the first field that I wanted to enter? Enter student ID. Okay, and the input tag should be input tag, and the type should be text, and we have to name that particular thing also. Name equal to, what is the type I'm going to pass? ID attribute, ID name. I'm going to name my text box with a name ID. Right, close your input tag. After that, simply give a bracket tag to enter a bracket. Right, next one, student name. Right, beside that, create an input field. Input type equal to, right, what type of data should be passed? Name. And what is the name of your text box? I am going to name it with the name attribute. Close your input text box. After that, simply give a break tag. That's it. And what is your third attribute? Enter student marks. Right, beside that, create an input tag. Input type equal to same text format, and what is the name of that particular text box that I wanted to give? Marks. Marks is the text box that I wanted to give. Close your input thing. After that, give a open and close your bracket tag. Okay na? See, finally, sir, what is the attribute value that I have to give to this action attribute, and what is the parameter that I should give? Right, see, in methods we have two types of parameters. Either it can be get or it can be post. I have already discussed in theory about that. Right now I am going to use this particular get method. Okay, only because I wanted to send this particular data from my HTML page to servlet. And what is the action parameter that you should pass? Whatever the servlet that we create, that we have to pass this to this particular thing. Now I have created my index.html. Once the index.html has been created, right click on this particular thing, go to new, create servlet. Or see, See, your index.html has been created here. Come to your Java resources, all your jar files will be stored here, right? Right click on your display data, create new, right? Inside that create which particular thing? Servlet. Now package, I'm going to create a package. What is the package that I have created? com.klu. And what is the, I have to give my servlet name. What is the servlet name that I wanted to create? Because I wanted to display data, I'm going to name my servlet with which particular name? Display data. And the URL mapping it has only given. Click on finish. See here, your display data servlet has been created. First of all, let us remove all the unnecessary codes. This is unnecessary, this constructor is unnecessary, whatever the comment lines, because I'm going to use do get method. I don't need a do post method, so simply delete. So only this particular thing. Now whatever the code that is inside your get method is also to be deleted, right? What is the name of your servlet name? Display data, right? So whatever the annotation that we have, copy this particular annotation whenever you have created your servlet. First of all, go through @web servlet annotation, copy the name of this particular servlet and go to your index.html, paste that particular thing in which particular attribute? Action attribute. First and foremost thing that you have to do, because that particular index.html should send all its data to which particular servlet? Display servlet. And which particular method has to be used? Get method has to be used. So that is why we have to use this particular thing, right? After that, once you go to display data, which is the method that you have used? Get method. So go to your get method, now try to extract the data. What is the data that I should extract? ID, name, marks. All these three values are to be extracted, right? So what are the name of those particular text boxes? ID, name and marks, right? Now how do you extract your ID? So for that I am going to declare a variable. What is the variable that I have declared? And int ID integer dot %, because why I am using this particular thing is, see, whenever you enter data in your text box, your data will be in string format, but ID should be in which particular format? Integer format. So I am converting my string value to which particular value? Integer value. For that I have used which particular thing? Integer class. There is a method called % method which will convert your string data type to integer data type. % of, see here. Now I wanted to get data from which particular thing? Index.html, right? So whenever I have used whenever I wanted to get data from index.html, your do get method or do post method will have two parameters. One is HTTP servlet request, other is HTTP servlet response. First of all, I am requesting for which particular values? ID value, name value, marks value, right? So for that, which particular instance should I use? Request parameter, right? % of request dot, there is a method called get parameter. Inside your parameter you have to pass a parameter. What is the parameter that you should pass? Right, what is the value of your text box that you have given in index.html? ID. So you have to pass that particular thing as a parameter to your get parameter method. That's it. Now secondly, I wanted to get which particular value? Student name. In order to get the student name, right, tell me. Declare a variable string name equal to, because already the text box value is a string only and I'm going to get this particular value to string only. So there is no need of converting. Then how do you write that particular thing? Request dot get parameter of, right, what is the parameter value that you should pass? Right, what is the name of the name text box? The name text box value is name only. So try to pass that particular name parameter to this particular value. So whatever the value that you are typing in the text box will be retrieved by your do get method and store it into which particular variable? Name variable. Right. What is your third variable? What is your marks, right? And what is the name of that particular text box? Marks. Now how do you get that particular data? Int marks equal to right there in index.html it is of your text box is of string data type and your marks should be of integer data type. How do you convert integer dot parse int of right how do you retrieve that particular data? Request dot get parameter of, tell me what is the name of that particular text box? Marks, right? So within double quotes give which particular thing? Marks. That's it. So you have retrieved value of id to id variable, value of that name text box to name variable, value of marks variable to int marks variable. Now you wanted to print this particular data on your web page. Now to display data on web page, how do you display your data on your web page? For that we have a class called printWriter class. So how do you create objects to your printWriter class? PrintWriter out equal to, see, previously you are requesting data from your index.html. Whatever the request data that you have got, you are going to post this particular thing. So when you are posting, you have to use response object. Response dot get writer method has to be called. Okay, so you'll be getting error here. Import java.io package. That's it. Your error will be vanished. Right after that out dot println of what are the three things that I wanted to print? Tell me. I wanted to print ID, name and salary, but I wanted to display all that particular data in a web page. So for that I am going to use h1 tag. What is the name? What are the things that I wanted to display? Student ID, C plus what is the name of that particular variable? ID plus I wanted to close my h1 tag, right? Because I have opened my h1 tag. Now I have to close my h1 tag, right? How do you close your tag? \h1. That's it. Okay. Similarly, I wanted to display three things. What are the three things that I wanted to display? Name. Similarly, marks. Student name. And what is the variable that you have extracted? Name. Last one, student marks. Right. What is the variable that you have taken? Marks variable. Right. Remove your ID and display marks. That's it. Save. Right. That's it. Your project is done. Now, if you wanted to run your project, right click on your project, display data. Right click on that, click on run as, run on server. Next, what is the name of your project? Display data. See, we have created student ID, but we have forgot to create a button. Right? Student ID 100, name of the student some A, student marks some 34. I have forgot to create a button here. Let us also create a button there. Right, how do you create your button there? Come back to your index.html. Right, how do you create your button there? Input type equal to submit value equal to display. I wanted to display this particular thing. Once again, refresh your things. See here, once again I'm trying to student number 100, student name some, enter some marks 35 and click on display. See here, I have tried to retrieve that particular data. Right? Is this fine? Right, this is how you have to display all your data.